it's Becca here from Core Potentials Academy, and I'm here today to talk to you about hormones. Oh, there's a great song from an artist from the 1970s, Helen Reddy. I am woman, hear me roar. That was a song that was she wrote part of the women's lib movement to foster a better, positive, more self-image for women. And I think it really speaks to women being more empowered. And what could be more empowering than to be able to deal with the havoc of our hormones? Being able to sense energy is kind of our indigenous people's heritage. We are actually all born with this ability, and the people from the First Nations to this day are taught to retain it. We, on the other hand, in our more technological world, are not taught to do that. And so we kind of lose the skill that serves our inner guidance system, as per se, as to what to do for things such as our hormones. We don't rest when we're supposed to rest. We don't take care of ourselves when our cycles are in certain phases. And because of that, we end up with quite a few conditions, such as PMS. When we're pregnant, we can have postpartum blues after pregnancy, or even just getting pregnant, fertility issues. Then we get into menopause years, and these bring on a whole more set of erratic things that include mood swings, fatigue, skin changes. You can get headaches from these cycles. We can get weight problems from these cycles being out of balance, these hormonal imbalances, hot flashes. I know menopause women complain, who wants sex? You don't even feel like having sex anymore. What's the point of life, right? we need to figure out a way to help balance these hormones that get completely out of hand. So hormones are run through the bloodstream. They influence our blood flow. And so one of the best ways to deal with hormones is actually using our neurovasculars. So our neurovasculars are these energy points there are multitudes of them all over our heads. And so I'm going to use a little guy here. He's my little, or should I say she's my little lioness, to explain to you literally why this particular exercise works. But I'm going to talk to you first about the points. So on the back of this little lioness head is a point that's like literally right behind this little lioness's eyes, right at the back, right here. And this particular point at the back of the head governs the hypothalamus. So this is kind of like our prime minister, the head of the body, the person who is the commander in chief. So the commander then speaks to its general, which is right on this little curve of this lioness's head. And this particular curve here is the place that governs our hormones, in the sense of decides what should go out. So in other words, if this was the general of the army, this particular place on which we view as the pituitary, it is the one that balances the hormones. So in other words, says a little bit of testosterone, this much, estrogen, this much thyroid hormone, this much, estrogen. It's the one that balances them so that they're all in an interplay that is advantageous for that army to make sure that the body is running in its proper way. Now, right on the top of the head here, right at the very, very top, this is for our pineal gland. And our pineal gland is what governs our sleep cycle. So this is literally where, if this was off, you're probably not producing enough melatonin, which is really important for our circadian rhythms of how we go to sleep at night and how our hormones rise in the day and then go down again so we can sleep at night. Now, right at the very top here, this little guy's hairline, or this little gal's hairline, is the liver neurovasculars. They're right kind of just in the little right here. Okay, so the liver is a very important organ system, but energy system as well, in that it is the thing that governs what goes where, and it produces the hormones, it metabolizes our hormones, and it also metabolizes all the exterior things that we put in, the toxins and the medications, things that we put into our body that need to get distributed in a proper balanced way. Okay, so this particular hold, now that you've seen our little lioness and the spots of where they all that we're going, I want you to think of this hold as it's called the rooster comb hold. The reason why I use rooster comb is because you have to think of a rooster with its little flappy top thing that it has here, and that just lets you know that these points literally run down the center of the head. Okay, so we take our hand and we put our palm of our hand right onto the heel, right onto those liver points, and we bring our finger, our third finger, up to the top of our head, right up here to that pineal gland that is all about us being able to have proper sleep rhythms. And then we bring this other hand and we put it to the back of our head, right over top of that prime minister, that leader of our body, the triple warmer fight or flight guy, and we wrap it across over to meet the other finger that's already on the pineal gland, but it's going over top of that pituitary area. And that pituitary area is the area that is sending out all those different hormones in a very balanced way so that our body stays balanced. So when we put our hand in this particular hold, as you can see my hand is going through here, you can leave it on there for 3 minutes. You can take a big deep breath. Our hands are magnetic. So the magneticism is literally pulling the blood to those points. So they're getting signals to basically work in cooperation with one another. I like to do this where I'm laying actually on the bed. And another thing that you can do is you can actually kind of sense, when I talked to you at the beginning about our indigenous cultures that have that ability to sense and feel, you can place your finger, right, 3 fingers sort of in a 3-finger notch. So you bring them together in 3 fingers and you put them together like so, and you place it in the back of that triple warmer spot. And you can actually feel, you put it onto the liver neurovasculars and just take a deep breath in and see what that feels like. Does that area feel as if it is in balance or not? Take it up to the top of the head and feel it as well. Does that one feel like it's in balance or not? Take a deep breath in. I can feel mine's a little bit more sensitive. So it's probably needing my sleep. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And we can put it to that one up the curve and see how that one feels. You know, have you been getting a lot of hot flashes today? Have you been cranky? What's going on? Have you got a headache? How are those hormone points feeling? And then if you just don't even want to do that, the best thing to do is just literally, you can just hold all 3 because it's going to cover it anyways. This is just the bulldozer way of making sure that we've got all of them talking to one another and in communication with each other. I like to do this lying down on my bed. I can prop pillows up and take some deep breaths. It's a great way to balance all of those physical symptoms that we get when our hormones aren't in balance. Okay, so moving to your own rhythm instead of staying in the society's pace, paying attention to your own cycles. Learning to manage them is really powerful. This hold is a great hold. our cultures from back then would know to do this naturally, and it's a great way for you to help empower yourself to look after your hormones. Okay, try the rooster hold.